Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. The hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers. Welcome to the dynamic learning hub of ExcelR at Andheri East. A prime spot conveniently located at just a 5-minute walk from LIC Andheri Metro. In our journey of over a decade, we have proudly trained over 2 lakh students. We have also been recognized by Deloitte, Silicon India, and other accreditation bodies. Experience learning like never before in our spacious and comfortable classrooms. With high-definition projectors and state-of-the-art acoustics in place, we ensure effective learning even to the farthest point in the room. A hybrid mode is a game changer as you can enjoy the benefits of a live classroom from the comfort of your home. Even if you happen to miss any classroom session, you can still attend the same session with the same trainer at the same time at your convenience, maintaining consistency in your learning progress. Want to get started? Join us for a demo or career chat over a cup of coffee at our Andheri branch. ExcelR. We don't just train, we build careers.
So, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hope all of you are doing good. So, welcome back once again, everyone, to our today's session with regards to the AI agents. So, again, as you know that we have already been gone through an extensive journey of the AI agents, like where we have done really some great amount of like efforts in order to create the AI agents. We have seen how we have gone through a lot of interesting things, right, which are being available to all of us. So today, what we will be doing is, as you know, that we are going to look into the CrewAI. Within the CrewAI, we have the human in the loop, right? How human beings are required in the CrewAI framework, where we need the human to be present, and the human will be able to let us know whether they will accept it or not. Because at the end of the day, it has to definitely go through human validation, right? You cannot give the control entirely to your AI agent where they are only going to everything on behalf of us. That shouldn't be the way, right? So we definitely need to go ahead, give that flexibility so that we don't give the entire power to AI agents. Yeah, let the AI agent do everything, but we should be there in order to handle the things effectively. I mean, that's most important, which we all here should be able to consider. Okay. So that's one of the interesting thing which I just want to let you all know here. Okay, so that's one of the important point which I just want to make sure that we all should be ideally aware about, right? Whenever we discuss about the AI agents, this is one of the very important aspect which we all should ideally here be aware of. Okay. So now what we will do, we will see human in the loop, and then I will show you how to create the CrewAI agents in the Visual Studio Code. And then we will see how we can create a streamlet. You remember for the Llama index, we created the streamlet, right? The same thing we will be also doing it in the CrewAI. So that's what will be the topic which we are going to dedicate for our entire today's session. So let me go ahead share my screen to all of you. So from there, we all can be able to proceed further. Okay. So if you all remember, like we are currently in the CrewAI. So as part of the CrewAI, yeah, as part of the CrewAI. So today say human in the loop. Okay, so this is one of the important topic. Along with the human in the loop, I will also talk through the memory part. Okay, I will also take you and walk you through the memory part also here. Okay, so we will go through the human in the loop and as well as the memory. Both of them we will consider. Okay, so when you talk about the CrewAI, there are two important components or the discussion points we are going to take it into consideration. So one here being the human in the loop and then another one here being the memory. These are the two things we are going to consider. Okay. So let's understand like how these things can be taken into consideration. See, human in the loop means what? Human in the loop is nothing but you are the boss. It's as simple as that, right? Human in the loop when we are bringing in, right? That indicates that you are the boss. Like you in the sense, we as a human beings are actually the boss. Okay, so the AI, I mean, here what is going to happen is the AI will not be able to move forward automatically. Okay, it will wait for your approval or an input before you go to the next step, right? So here what is going to happen in this scenario is, so before we, so how it is going to very clearly, so what is going to be is like ultimately in you your AI will not be able to move forward automatically. Okay, it is always going to wait for your approval or input before going to the next step. So definitely in this scenario, we need human approval or input. So like without getting the human approval or input, right? It will not be able to proceed further to the next step. Now, why we need human in the loop actually? Is it not like we can bypass the human in the loop and then take it up further? No, that is not possible. Okay, so human in the loop is very much needed because here, if you see very clearly, the reason being like why we need human is like it will help us out to go ahead and it can check or it can modify and can see like whatever the AI response is, like whatever the AI is responding to us at the end of the day, right? We can check or can at the same time modify the AI response and we can observe that how things are being behaving over here. Okay, that's how it is going to work like. So if you see very clearly, like when we have the human beings into the picture, it is always going to be helpful for us, like where it can assist us in checking or modifying the AI response, like before it is going to affect anything in the process. Okay. And also, it will also add the human judgment over it. Okay. So it's also going to add here the human judgment. Okay, so like when you see here, right, when you're adding the human judgment into the loop, it's going to be great for some sensitive tasks. There may be some sensitive tasks, right, which your AI would do normal. But when you as a human come into the picture, right, you have emotion, right? So you can understand that how you can handle it appropriately for the sensitive tasks. Like ultimately, what is happening here, if you see, as a human in the loop, right? The AI doesn't move forward automatically. Okay, it waits for the approval or input before it goes to the next step ideally. Okay, so that's how we can check or we can modify the AI response before it is going to affect anything. and we also give the scope to add the human judgment into the loop so that we can really be able to do some great going to create any problem at the end. Just to give you some example, let's say your agent you have created, the CrewAI agent you created. Now the CrewAI agent is going to ask you, like, let's say the 5 skills required to be a data analyst. Okay, the 5 skills required for us to be the data analyst. Okay, so now what will happen here is you are going to review it. Right, there are 5 skills, okay, which will here act like a data analyst, and then you are going to review. Okay, so first it will come to you as a review. Until you review and say yes, continue further, it will not be able to move to the next. Okay, that is the beauty of having the human approval. Till now, what is happening, whenever we were executing the code, it was able to go one by one and it gave the response. It never asked the human being that, hey, do you approve this or do you agree with this? It never asked. It was just being able to go and execute whatever it is available. Right? And then it was able to give us the responses automatically. But right now, if you see here, when you go ahead and then try to say review, okay, so here in the review process, I'm going to say yes, continue. Then it will continue further and will let me know what are the 5 skills which are required for me to become a data analyst. Right. Okay, that's how. So for that, we will write a custom logic. Okay, when I'm going to explain to you, right, in the program, when we do the hands-on activity, we are going to write a custom logic for it. It's not something natively supported, or it is not something which comes as inbuilt over here, everyone. Okay, so we need to write the logic in such a way that where the CrewAI agent should ask us, okay, that, hey, do you agree with it as a human being? So that is not inbuilt supported by the CrewAI agent. CrewAI agent is always being created as an independent body where the AI agent can only be able to do everything on its own. But we don't want that, right? We don't want to give the entire control to it. We want the human beings to be present inside it. So for that, you need to write the custom logic for the same, which I will explain to you when we enter into the program so that it can simulate and can give us the appropriate output and kind of. Okay. So that's the main thing I just want to let you know. And the next important thing is, yeah, anyhow, human in the loop is definitely required to have the approval in the process. Now, the next important thing to be considered here would be the memory, right? So memory. Memory means what? AI will try to remember the things. So AI is going to remember all the things in the memory, like how we have as a brain, right? In order to store the memory. So how much ever we can remember, we will try to correlate it. If we are not able to remember, right, then we will not. When you take your AI agent, it should also have memory, right? Much, much better, man. So what happens is, right, when I write one, as put everything in the memory. Other things more every time I keep asking questions, but every because never stores anything in the mistake to know that, hey, I'm doing this mistake. It should not be good. When you say memory, memory here means your AI will copy and remember everything. What has happened before? So that it will give you what happened in the past. is the capture over. And what and it's called as conversation buffer memory, and then another one is the chat message history. So it's going to have everything in order for us to interact appropriately. Okay, so that's how we can have the conversation memory and the chat message history from the line chain. That's it. This is what is needed, where your AI agent will have a memory where it will try to remember the things. It will try to store everything what has been happened in the past across your tasks, your conversations, your sessions. Everything is going to be preserved appropriately without having any difficulties or challenges associated. Okay, so that's the overall clarity. I just want to make it very clear to all of you. Okay, so that's one of the important thing. Like imagine without memory, right? Your AI forgets everything after each task. But with memory, your AI can say, "Hey, as discussed earlier, okay, now you are interested in the data analyst role." So it knows that long time back you have asked, or this is we long you want to this. I right on. So that's all memory very important. Like where it is going to be. So that's another thing. So here, as I said, we are doing things. In the process, right? If you really want to proceed with any, validate with any of the in the loop is that you have the going to be your human in the loop, and then on the other side we have a memory present, where memory is going to play an important role, where your AI is going to remember the things like all your tasks, your conversations, your sessions, everything is going to be captured appropriately. Okay, so that's another important thing which we all have to be able to consider. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, as I've given you the idea, like what exactly is human in loop and memory. So as we got to know the theoretical aspect of it, so let me take you to the hands-on activity and give you like the clarity of what we are going to do right now. But before I give you the clarity, let me explain to you the problem statement of what we are actually trying to build right. Okay, because that will give you a clarity like what exactly are we trying to do. Then understanding the code will give you a better output that what exactly we are trying to learn. Okay, the problem statement is, let me try to put it up over here for all of you. Okay, so the problem statement in this scenario here is like we want to do a career coaching, right? So we want to go ahead and do a career coaching with human approval, right? This is our problem statement. We want to do a career coaching agent with human approval and memory. Both of them are required for us to take it further. Okay, so ideally, this is going to act like a smart career mentor, right? It's going to really be, I mean, it's going to be really helpful for us to be a smart career mentor, where it is going to be like a human guided career advice with a memory associated. So let's say, like ideally, what happens is, graduates, they often need help deciding their career path, right? So your AI can suggest some options, And along with that, the human approval will also be required to ensure if there is a relevance and significance to whatever the AI agent is suggesting as a career path. Okay, and even the AI will also try to remember like what was chosen before to give that consistent guidance to the people who are asking for any career advice. Okay, for that memory is also equally important. So ideally what we are trying to do here is we'll build a multi-AI agent workflow, again using the CrewAI framework, where first step will be the agent is going to recommend the career path for the graduate based on whatever background they are having. Then the human will come into the picture. They will approve the recommendation before the proceeding. Either they will approve or reject. And then the agent will remember whatever the approved career path which has been assigned or which has been given as advice, okay, to the user. That will be stored in the memory of the agent. Okay, so that's the key things which are going to happen. So ultimately, let's say if the user says, I know Python's, SQL, and Excel, then your AI will say that, hey, you can consider to be a data analyst or a BI developer or a machine learning engineer. Then the user has to approve. Once the user approves, then it will give you the role. Okay, that's very important for all of us to consider and then take it up. Okay, so that's one of the important steps. So now what am I trying to do here is I'll quickly go to the Google Colab. We'll give you the high level overview of what we are trying to achieve here, like how we can bring the human approval and memory into the picture is what we are going to look into right. Okay, let me take you to the Colab, Google Colab. See, if you see most of the things are almost you are familiar with. If you have been joining the sessions from the last 2 days, you would have been familiar right now with how CrewAI is going to work. Okay, but if you see here very clearly, this is the step where we are installing all the related details like our CrewAI, which is required for us to create all our agents, tasks, and then the crews. And then we have the LangChain OpenAI, which will be helpful for us to connect to any of the ChatGPT AI models, right? Like GPT 3.5 or any other models through API. So through API, we can be able to go ahead and can be able to connect to it appropriately. Okay, so that's actually the significance of it. Okay, which we should here be aware about, like where we have the CrewAI and then the LangChain OpenAI. Okay. And then later, you know that once the above things are installed appropriately, so you have from the CrewAI, I'm going to import the agent, task, and crew because those are the important components within your CrewAI. Like where you have your agent, task, and crew, that is going to define the entire AI agent team. Because when you say AI agent team in the CrewAI, right, it comprises of agent, task, and then okay, and then what we are trying to do from the LangChain OpenAI, we are importing the chat OpenAI. So you know why we need chat OpenAI because this is helpful for us to interact with the GPT 3.5. Okay, so this chat OpenAI, whatever is present, this chat OpenAI will play a very important role for us to go ahead and interact with. Okay, so if you really want to use GPT 3.5 turbo model or any model in that matter, it may be. If you really want to connect, you know that API key is mandatory because without API key, you are not allowed to authenticate yourself. You will not be allowed to use anything. But before that, you need to import your chat OpenAI because your chat OpenAI will make sure like it will help how the AI is going to think using the GPT 3.5. Okay. And then you have the conversational buffer memory. You remember just now I have explained to you, right? So when you want to have the memory, so definitely from the LangChain memory, you can have your conversational buffer memory. This will give the agent the memory scope so that it can start remembering the things appropriately. Okay, so your conversation buffer memory plays a very important role here, where it is going to give the agent the scope of the memory so it can start remembering the things without any difficulties or constraints. Okay, so that's one of the important understand here. So when I say conversation buffer memory, right, so very clearly what is happening in this, like, going to be right now, remember the things. Because we go for that ideal thing for the conversation buffer memory. And you have the chat open AI. That's how the AI is going to think using the GPT 3.5. Okay, and then finally, you need your OpenAI API key. So this is something which by this time you all should be aware about, right? In the OpenAI platform, you can create your own free OpenAI API key. If your Gmail account is new, you will be given definitely around $5, right? You will be given like $5 free of cost, and you can create your own API key, which I already explained in the previous classes. Take that API key and you can add it over here. Okay, if you think, yesterday I've seen some 3 to 4 messages which people have pinged me saying that the quota is exceeded. Yeah, if the quota is exceeded and if you don't have enough dollars left, which is free, what you can do is if you have any of the others Gmail account, try to log in there, get those $5 free of cost again, and then create a new API key, because the previous API key will not work anymore because your Gmail account has changed. Correct? So definitely you need to go ahead and create another API key, take that API key and add it, and then run your CrewAI. Okay. So if your quota is exceeded, if you still have balance left, then use that and can create your CrewAI agents, whatever we are discussing. But again, remember one thing, your API key will always be needed so that your AI agent can be able to talk to your ChatGPT model. Okay. So you just need to replace it with your key, whatever you are going to create. Okay. Then again, we are going to give here the model, right? The LLM model here is GPT 3.5 Turbo. This is the model which we are using from the OpenAI. Okay, this is like a brain, right? Without the brain or intelligence, it will not be able to answer. As I have been saying from the day one, your AI agent should definitely have a brain. Otherwise, it will not have the intelligence to answer. If there is no intelligence, then it will give some gibberish or some hallucinated answer. It will not be correct, which we don't want, right? So that's something which we all have to consider over here. Okay. So that is the reason we definitely need to have the AI models available. So one of such model is your GPT 3.5 Turbo. Okay. And then we need the temperature also. And the temperature, when I say 0.5, right, it will control the creativity. As I said you, right, the ideal range for the temperature will always be 0.5 to 1. So within that range, you can be able to choose. Okay, so if it is, if the temperature is within the range of 0.5 to 1, it will be more focused in giving the answer appropriate. If it is, let's say, somewhere at around 1.5 to 2, right, then what will happen in that case? It will become more highly creative and it will try to start giving some totally random answers. And if it is low, if it is somewhere like 0.1 or 0, then it will not be focused at all. So that is the reason ideal range for the temperature will be 0.5 to 1 is what we can consider also. Okay. And then you see that here, this is where I'm trying to add the memory. This is something which is coming as a new thing for all of you. You wouldn't have observed this in the previous agents, whatever we have been able to develop. Okay, so right now, if you see what is happening, this is going to allow your agent, okay, to remember the previous steps or the user inputs during the session. So here I'm using what? I'm trying to use the conversational buffer memory. Okay, so if you see here in this case, let's say when I say conversational buffer memory, right, in this conversational buffer memory, okay, this is one of the library within the LangChain memory. So using this, what is happening over here, it is able to go ahead, right? You see that this is going to allow your agent to remember all the previous steps, and it will also allow the users to go ahead and save whatever information they want. Okay, that is the reason memory is required, so that it can save all the previous information and can be able to respond to us appropriately without any constraints or difficulties. Okay, that's our conversational buffer memory which we need to have here. So now we will enter into the AI agent. So first, if you see, we are creating our first agent, that is our career agent. And the agent role here, like in this case, we are naming it as a career coach. That is the role of the agent. And then the goal we are providing that it should help the students to choose the careers and it has to guide them. And then the backstory, like giving a context saying that, hey, agent, as a career coach, you act like a mentor who is going to remember everything discussed earlier. Okay, whatever has been discussed, let's say you went to a career coach today, right? You would have said about what is your career, your background, your profile, and everything. After 4 days, again you went. Now your career coach will ask, hey, I forgot whatever you said. So please again repeat and say. Like just imagine like a human being. So you will say, because you may think that the person may be busy, so he would have forgotten or she would have forgotten. So I would again try to say one more time. We will again say. Then next day again you came, asking what is the update. Now again the career coach will say, who are you? Can you again explain like what is your background? Like this, if it keeps happening, you will get frustrated, right? You will say that, hey, what this guy is going to do for me when he himself is forgetting who am I. See, a career coach should know in and out of you so that the career coach can look for the relevant opportunities for you or give you the right guidance based on whatever you have been able to say. And if the career coach is not able to remember anything, whatever you said, then how come the career coach is going to assist and guide you? Imagine, forget about AI agents. Imagine like a human being. So we will get frustrated, right? Or we will not take the service of them. Instead, we are going to look for something else. So right now, if you look into here, why we need memory? Memory is required so that it can understand, okay, whatever you have said me earlier, long time back, I'm storing that in my memory. That is my conversation buffer memory. So that next time when you ask, you can ask me any extra or additional questions rather than re-repeating yourself saying that, hey, I'm so and so, this is my background skills. You have already said me once, that's it. Then I will take the responsibility to store it in the memory. Right? I don't need to again go and then try to understand like what exactly you are trying to say. So that's very important point we all have to understand here. So when you say career agent, we have to make sure that we are also storing the memory so that we always don't need to ask others. Like every time we don't need to ask them that what is your background. Okay, because you know already and you have stored that in the memory. So you are taking here LLM. So LLM details will be automatically captured over here. That is GPT 3.5 Turbo with the temperature 0.5. And you have the memory, whatever memory details you stored here, right, in the conversation buffer memory. So that memory also will be loaded over. Okay, and then when you say verbose equal to true, like when you say here that your verbose equal to true, that indicates that it will be able to help you. So when I say verbose equal to true, so it very clearly indicates that you can do all the step-by-step operation, right? You can be able to do all your step-by-step operation so that we can see what exactly is going. Instead of going to the final output, it will show you whatever step-by-step approach with which it is going. That's it. Okay, that is how we have defined our agent who is being here as the career coach. Then obviously, after you define your agent, right now we have the task here available, right? So now we are providing the task in this case. If you see clearly, here is where we have the task available. So in the task, we are telling the agent, right? In the task, we are making it very clear that we are telling the agent, please find me like 3 trending jobs for computer science students and describe each one of them in one line. So I gave the description, I gave the expected output. So as a career agent, your task will be to identify the 3 trending jobs for computer science graduates or students, and then describe each of those job roles in one line specifically. Okay. So that is what could be taken up in the task. Like as you see, there is a task available. So within this task, the details are going to be very clear. and you can be able to see that the responses will be generated based on the task, whatever we were being able to provide it. Okay, so that's the clarity or the idea which we all here should be aware about. Okay, now if you see here in this scenario, this is where we are going to run. Okay, so first thing is, this is going to here create the crew for us. Okay, this is going to create the crew. You know, crew is a combination of agents and tasks. That's what we learned, right? So within the crew, we have one agent, and the first agent name, what we named here is a career agent. That's what we defined here. And then we have a task over here where the task is equal to task. And here is where the kickoff will occur. Kickoff means, you know, that's when the AI crew is going to start automatically. All the agent and the tasks which are associated will start getting to run. Okay, that is how the crew.kickoff will happen. And finally, whatever the result it is going to bring, that result will be stored over. Okay, you will see that whatever the result is going to come, that result is ultimately going to be stored here. So it will print the statement, right? It is going to print saying that it is an AI recommendation. And within the AI recommendation, whatever the result we are going to get, so that result is going to be stored and saved over here without any difficulties. Okay, this line will print the output, that is recommended job roles from the agent. And then now comes here, if you see approval. Okay, so let's say here we have the approval process in this case. This is where the human in the loop will come into the picture. Like where we are going to give a small pause here to the AI agent. What did I say when I was explaining theoretically? I made it very clear to all of you. Whenever you are running the AI agent, right? Whenever you are running the AI agent, you all should be very clear. So whenever the AI agent is actually getting executed, okay, so it will not be asking default to the human beings to approve. It is not supported native. So we need to introduce it, right? We need to introduce it in a custom manner so that we can add like, hey, this is what is needed. And then accordingly, whenever there is a chance, like you are going to see that once the approval is being granted, right? Once the approval here is being granted, then we will be able to proceed further. So we are doing it manually. Okay, it's not something like it's coming default. Okay, so approval process. So we are pausing here. Okay, we are pausing. Instead of going directly, we are giving a small pause and asking that, and I mean, we are asking to you, the human, whether if you want to continue with the result or based on whatever recommendations the AI agent has given to us. Okay, so whether do we need to proceed further, yes or no? If we say yes, okay, I kept a if condition here. See, if you see, right? If you say yes, then it will say, okay, great, I am moving further to resume tips. Okay, then it continues to the next part. But let's say, for an example, you type in the role you like the most. Okay, let's say you type in the role which you like the most, like example, data analyst or something like that. Okay, then what it will do, it will go ahead and it will try to further move with the task. So what it will do, it will create a new task for the same agent. Now it will help you to improve your resume for this particular role, like whatever role you have mentioned, right? So to that particular role, if you go ahead and then agree, okay, then it will proceed further, and then it will let you know that, hey, like which career are you most interested? It will ask you, you provide your career like data analyst or whatever role you provide. So that role will be taken here dynamic. So based on that role, it will be able to give you some actions, some suggestions which you need to improve for your resume. So now it will help you to improve your resume for whatever role you want to go ahead and apply for. Okay, so that's the core point we need to understand here as a task. So where you can always create a new task and then it can help you to improve your resume for this particular role. Okay, and then I would also say here in this case, okay, like if you see here very clearly, so here is where like I would say like we can also form another crew here, right? So you can also see that here we can form another crew. So with the, I mean, here if you see the crew is having again the career agent, but now this time the task is what? Task 2. Okay. And then again the kickoff is going to happen, that is going to run and it will print the resume suggestions. And whatever the result is going to come will be stored here. That will be printed here as a resume suggestions. Okay. Or if you don't agree, okay, this is all when you say yes. Okay. If you say yes, then it will take it further. But if you say no, then immediately it will restart. Okay. Then it will say, okay, let me restart and explore other options. If you say no, right, the program will stop there and it will tell you to try again. So that's how, if you see here very clearly, we have been able to define explicitly the entire program considering the human in the loop and as well as the memory associated with it. So if you see very closely here, one more time, I will try to explain from first to last. And then later I will hand it over the code to you all so that you can also be able to execute. And if there are any questions or if you are blocked anywhere, you can feel free to let me know and I'll be able to guide you. Again, I'm trying to all over here. Installing the AI and then the line chain OpenAI, because these two are very important. AI will be for you and AI or AI intelligence. Nothing but AI model like that task and do, which are very important to improve AI to succeed appropriately. Then I need a chat OpenAI. Chat OpenAI means this is how your AI thinks. Chat OpenAI will ensure that it will help you to connect to your AI model like Chat GPT or a GPT 3.5. And then you have the conversation buffer memory. That is also needed for us to give the agent the memory so that it can be able to remember and can store all the things with it. Then you need to pass your API key here, which is going to play a very important role to authenticate yourself and proceed further. So for that, definitely I need an OpenAI API key associated with it. And then you need the the model. Model here would be the GPT 3.5 turbo model. And the temperature here will be 0.5. Okay. So if you see here in this case, what is going to happen is like ultimately you are going to have your model, which is your GPT 3.5 turbo. And then you have your temperature. Temperature you can range and can play around with it. How much temperature you want, you can play around with it. And this is the model which I want to use in the chat GPT. And then you have your memory. So if you see here, your memory is also associated in this case, where you see there is a conversation buffer memory. Okay. So basically this memory is required. Okay. Here, if you see, this memory is definitely required because it will help us out to store all the things which are happening in the AI agent, right? All of them will get memorized at this point of case. Okay, then we are creating the agent, which is like a career coach as a role. We are creating the agent here, where we are saying that the goal of this career coach is to help the students choose the careers and guide them appropriately. And the context here is to make the agent work like a mentor, where it will remember everything which has been discussed earlier so that it can store it in the memory. And then you can provide your LLM details, which is nothing but your GPT 3.5 turbo and temperature. And your verbose equal to true, that means it will go step by step and will go to the final output. And then what is the task of the career coach agent? We are defining here, where it should help us out to find some 3 trending jobs for computer science students. And it should also describe each of them in one line without any difficulties. Okay, so and then this task should be implemented in the agent, which is called as the career agent over here. So that is what we are trying to define over here. Okay. And then here is where we are putting the combination of our crew, where it has an agent called as a career agent, and then it has a task here called as the task one. And then we are providing a kickoff over here. Kickoff indicates that where we are getting started appropriately. Okay. So the kickoff is going to help us out in order to execute the program appropriately, or in order to start your AI agent, kickoff will play an important. Okay. So whatever the recommendation which the career coach is providing, that will be printed here as a result with saying AI recommendation. Now comes the human approval into the picture. Like before it proceeds next, it will ask the human approval, which because I have added it manually right here, it will definitely ask Okay, like this will pause, the AI agent here will pause and it will ask you as a human being that whether if you want to continue with the result or not. The moment you say yes over here, okay, then it will proceed further to the next rules. If you see here what it will do, the moment you go ahead and grant saying that yes, then it will ask you which career are you most interested. Okay, so from whatever recommendation it has given, you can choose one particular career advice, whatever you want. Then it will choose that role and the task of the career agent or the like a career coaches. It will give you 3 resume improvement tips which you need to follow. Okay, it will give you some 3 like suggestions which you can improve it for your resume. As a career agent, it will guide you. And then again, within the crew, you are taking your career agent, same agent, but a different task, right? And the task here is task 2. And then again, there would be a kickoff where your agent will again go ahead and execute it and will give you the 3 improvement tips for your like for your job role within your resume. And finally, it will print you the result saying that resume suggestions, and it is going to print the results. Okay, it's ultimately gonna go ahead and then try to print the result, like whatever the result is required, it's gonna go ahead and will generate that result. That's it. Okay, but let's say simply if you said no, it will not even go to single step. It will come directly to the else condition and it will say that let's restart and explore other options. The moment it comes, the moment you go ahead and say no, it will immediately come to the else condition. What is this? Okay. So if you see here in this case, right, the moment you see that, like once you go ahead and print, like if you declare no, then it will immediately print the statement saying that let's restart and explore the other options. That's it. So this is the clarity which every one of you here should ideally be aware of. Okay. So now when I go ahead and run this, let's see how it is going to work. Okay. You have the run button towards the left hand side. Let's try to run and see that how it is going to be helpful for us. Okay, it is installing all the prerequisites first. Let it get installed. And then we will see how it is going to work for us. Building and installing. Let's give some time to fully complete it here. You see here what is happening. See here, observe carefully. Okay, your agent started. Your agent started. That is your career coach. And then as a career coach, it says that machine learning engineer can be a good role for you. Okay, you can utilize algorithms. I mean, the top 3 trending jobs if you are being a computer science engineer. So your career coach as an AI agent is letting you know that the best 3 options for you to explore would be machine learning engineer, where you need to utilize some algorithms and data to create your own models that can learn and can make predictions. Or you can become a cyber security analyst, where you can protect the organization from any cyber threats by implementing the security measures and monitoring the systems for vulnerabilities. Then you can become a cloud solutions architect, where you can design and implement the cloud-based solutions for all your businesses to improve the efficiency and scalability. right? These are your AI recommendations it has given. Now it is asking you, see, do you approve this list? That means it says that as a career coach, based on your computer science role, I am saying that these are the 3 roles with which you can be able to go ahead. That's your machine learning engineer, cybersecurity analyst, and the cloud solutions architect. So now if it's asking you, human in the loop is coming right now. Human in the loop is coming saying that, do you approve this career list? So now I will say yes and click on enter. So the moment I click on yes and say enter, let's see what it will do for us. See, now it is asking. The moment I said yes, it's changed the question. It's asking that, okay, out of 3, whatever I've given to you, say me which career are you most interested in from the list. Okay. So if you should be able to understand here in this case, right? So which career are you most interested in from the list over here? Okay. So the point. Okay. So if you see here from the above 3 list, which career are you most interested in from the list? I will say I want to become a what can I say? Okay, let's say machine learning engineer. Okay, let's say I want to become a machine learning engineer, and then it will give me the tips accordingly. Okay, let's proceed further. See now, my agent started, my career coach. It's going one by one. See final answer. See now, as a career coach, it says me ensure that your resume clearly showcases your relevant skills and projects related to machine learning. Include all the technical skills such as programming languages like Python, R, etc. Machine learning frameworks like TensorFlow, PyTorch, and data analysis tools like NumPy, Pandas. Additionally, detail the projects where you have applied machine learning algorithms, specifying what was your role, what is the problem you solved, and then the outcomes which are being achieved out of. Okay. Then again, you can see there is a like quantifying the achievements and impact. Okay. So again, quantify your achievements can make your resume stand out. Include some metrics or percentage to demonstrate the impact of your work in previous roles or projects. For instance, you can mention that how you improved your model accuracy by a certain percentage, how you have reduced the processing time, how you increased efficiency in the data processing. This will help the recruiters understand that you have done some great contributions. Then showcase your continuous learning. So you can say machine learning is a rapidly evolving field. So demonstrating your commitment to continuous learning and professional development is crucial. So mention if you have done any certifications, any online courses, workshops, or conferences you have attended to stay yourself updated with the latest trends and technologies in machine learning, so that it will show all your recruiters that you are proactive about enhancing your skill sets and the knowledge in the field. Okay, it will be able to help you in that. So you see such a beautiful AI agent. This is like, first it gave you the 3 career advices, and then it is asking to the human being that whether you approve it the moment you say yes. Okay, because everything is in the code only. See, when you say, okay, when it asks you, do you approve this career list? The moment you said yes, then it will immediately ask you, which career are you most interested from the list which is being provided by the career coach. From there, it will take you further. If you say no, if you immediately say there, no, right? Then what it will happen, it will immediately stop and it will say, okay, let me restart and explore other options. As you are not interested with the 3 rules, so now your career agent or your career coach will go and will pick up next 3 jobs apart from machine learning engineer, cyber security analyst, and the cloud solutions engineer. So when you say no means that you're not liking anyone, then it will again retry, it will pick up other 3 jobs, and then it will ask you that if you want to proceed further or not. If yes, then you can provide what role it is, and then the career coach will help you out as an agent. Like what are all the things you need to improve in your resume to take your journey further. It will give you all those related steps over here. See, such a beautiful AI agent where it is going to work everything on behalf of us. Okay, that is what we need to consider over here. And somebody has asked me a question that if I change my temperature from 0.5 to 1, let's say, if I change it and again try to rerun, then it will be able to go ahead and be very diplomatic in whatever it is going to provide the answer. Okay. So again, when I'm trying to rerun this one more time, you see that your career coach is running. Okay, same. Now see, it gave up DevOps engineer. First, it was machine learning engineer, cyber security analyst. They remained the same with temperature 0.5 also. But the moment I made my temperature 1, the cloud engineer is gone. Now DevOps engineer came into the picture because temperature 1 will be very diplomatic, neither very bad nor too good. Okay. So you see that now it started giving DevOps, and I'll say here, yes. Do you approve? Okay. Let's say yes. Now I will say which career are you most interested in from the list? I would say now I will say DevOps engineer for an example. Okay, I'll just say DevOps. Now your career coach will again go ahead. So it will say, talk about CI/CD pipelines, containerization, Docker, Terraform, Ansible, Prometheus, like whatever is now related to DevOps, everything has come up over here. Okay, that's how the changes are going to occur based on the temperature, whatever we are providing. Okay, so this is what we all need to explore and can be able to do it from our end. So we created a career coach, right? So we have created a career coach in such a way that where it can be able to go and assist us in doing some really great stuff. Like where first you are providing whatever the details you want. Like first, it's going and then trying to give you the 3 trending jobs as a computer science graduate. Okay. Now let's say if you're not a computer science graduate, you're from finance background, or you're a mechanical engineer, you're a civil engineer, or you're an electronics engineer, right? Just change it here, the particular role here. Then it will align to the role whatever you are providing. Then it will give you the top 3 job roles. If you like it, say yes. Then it will say among 3, which one do you like? Then it will ask you to prepare your resume accordingly so that it can target and can give the recruiters the better chance for you to get selected in that particular profile. Okay. So that's how it's going to play a very important role. So now what I'm going to do here is I will be sharing this code to all of you. Okay, give me 1 minute so that I can share it in the same document, which is our LangChain document is there, right? So in the same thing, I'll be sharing this document, I mean, the respective code, what we discussed. Okay. I'll replace my API key. You can just be able to go ahead and add your own API key from there. Okay, so whatever API key which you have, you can be able to add it. Okay. So now what I will do is here, just be able to go ahead. Whatever is there in the document at the last, that is the latest code with which you all have to be able to proceed further. Okay. Now we have saved these changes. We share it to all of you. Okay, I just have added the document in the main chat, everyone, the LangChain part. At the bottom, you will be able to see the code. Okay, so if you go ahead and see in the documents, okay, no, but I think so, yeah. So here is where I just shared the code, whatever we discussed. Okay, where we have a human in the loop and as well as the memory associated. So I would give you all 10 minutes of time. So I would request every one of you to please go ahead, execute this code from your end, check it out how the career coach is helping you out, how human in the loop is going to play an important role here, and then how memory plays an important role. All these things I have covered theoretically, and as well as right now we even completed the hands-on activity. Please go ahead, have a look into it and check how the things are being progressing over. Okay, so please do complete and let me know everyone. Once you are done with it, acknowledge it in the chat. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Higher values of temperature will be more fast. Okay. Then I added, right? Temperature, I said you, temperature between 0.5 to 1 will always give the better result. Okay, that's the point here. So when I say temperature equal to 1, it gives some answer 0.5. So temperature is something between 0.5 to 1. If you put, it will be better random answer. If you put a very higher value, it will be very, very random. If you put a lower value, it will not understand and it will not give the response. So 0.5 to 1 is always the ideal range for us to handle it appropriately. Okay. I shared the code in the main chat, Nilesh. Okay. I don't have an option to upload it privately, ideally. That's the truth. Instead of uploading it, how can I send it? I don't have an option here to send it. Uh, I think you are not connected through Zoom, right? Not sure, like, so I'm not able to. Okay, let me send it part by part to you. That way it will be easier for you. Try my best. I'm sending it part by part. Okay. Just one minute. Yeah, I've sent it, Nilesh. You can continue with it. Okay, continue everyone. I'll give you 10 minutes of time to execute this code and let me know once if you are done with it successfully. Acknowledge it in the chat, mentioning that you are done with it. Then I will take you further to the next concept over here. So please complete and do let me know you. I'll be waiting for you and you can mention it in the chat once you are done successfully. Your time starts now. Please execute and get started. Okay, if you increase the temperature, right, Nilesh, like let's say, if it is, as I said, right, if it is within the range of 0.5 to 1, you will not see any garbage occurring. But if temperature starts increasing from 1.5, or you're putting 1.5 to 2 or 1.6, 1.7, something as such, if in the temperature, then definitely it will go ahead and give us more garbage content or more randomness. Okay, which we all need to be here. The next one would be like we will understand how to create the same in the Visual Studio, the CrewAI agent using the Visual Studio code and Streamlit. Okay, we have a Streamlit, right? We discussed for the Llama index. So the same we are going to understand that how we can do it using the CrewAI. Okay, so till now we have seen it in the Google Colab. So we will also see the flavor of how we can be able to execute it in the Visual Studio. Okay, that's what we are going to look into in a while after everybody completes this one successfully. I'm giving last 2 minutes, everyone. Please complete this quickly. Then I will take you all to the Crew AI using the Visual Studio Code and then the Streamlit concept. So please complete and do let me know once you are done in the chat. Then I will take you further to the next concept, everybody. Now let's get started with the next one right now. So the next one is going to be, okay, one of the most important thing here. So yeah, once you join from the laptop, I'll be able to help you, Nilesh. That's not a problem. And Chintan, yeah, tomorrow will be the last session. Okay. So let me proceed further. Now the problem statement, what we are going to solve using the Crew AI is like we are going to create a AI agent, right? We are going to create an AI agent, which will be like our personalized daily planner. Okay, it's like our personal assistant. The AI agent is going to act like a personal assistant, which will be like our personalized daily planner for us. Okay. So it's going to be the personalized daily planner as an AI agency. As I said, like in today's fast-paced work environment, right? Individuals like us, we often struggle to plan our day very effectively. I mean, we cannot balance our productivity with wellness. Okay, and we have to maintain the motivation throughout the day. So the manual planning, what we do, it can actually lead to either some overloading or inefficient use of the time. If we don't know about how to plan, then definitely that becomes inefficient one. And ultimately that will reduce the performance and it will increase the risk of the burnout for all of us. And the goal of the situation is like we want to create a multi-agent AI powered system where it can plan my day. Okay, it can plan my day efficiently. So the first task is to plan my day efficiently. That's the first thing which it should be able to do. Okay, it should be in a position to plan my day efficiently, and then it should also receive some smart break suggestions. Okay, the AI agent should also be able to give me some smart break suggestions. Of that, it also should make me feel stay motivated. Okay, with a personalized daily summary and encouragement. Okay, so we will use the Crew AI to build or to achieve these three things, like where it can help me out to plan the day efficiently, to receive some smart break suggestions, and to make me feel motivated or to make me like stay motivated so that I can be able to handle the things very effectively. Okay. So to achieve this, we will implement, as I said, it's a Crew AI framework. We will use and we'll be able to create our three most important intelligent agents is what we are going to develop. And among them will be our daily planner, right? That is one agent we are going to create. Then we will create another agent, which will be a break advisor. Okay, which will analyze the schedule to recommend if there are any ideal break times, the proper reasoning that why we have to take the break at that point of time. And then finally, the day end reporter. This is another agent which we want to go ahead and create. So your day end reporter will summarize the plan in a very motivational paragraph to keep the user very much inspired at the end of the day. Okay. So ultimately, what are we trying to do here? So we have here the daily planner as one of the agent. We have the break advisor as another agent and the day end. Okay. So ultimately, what are we building, everybody? So here we are actually trying to build a AI agent, okay, which is going to be our personalized daily planner, right? As I said that this is going to play a very important role because as a human being, we'll be very busy in all our activities. And if you don't have a plan in the day, the entire day will be wasted. And sometimes we don't even know that some tasks we leave it off because we assume that we don't have time. But if we have a proper plan, it can really be effective for us to complete all the major tasks. Okay, so as an AI agent, it's going to help us out as a personalized daily planner. So we are creating an AI agent where it will help me out to plan my day efficiently and effectively. It will also try to give me some suggestions like where and all I can be able to take some breaks and how to feel motivated entire day so that I can handle my tasks without any difficulties or without any like loadouts. Okay, so I don't want. So if you see here very clearly, so for that I'm going to create three agents, like one being the daily planner, and then the break advisor, and then finally the day end reporter. Okay, these are the three things which I want to establish and then take it up. Let's see how we can achieve this practically. That's something which I'm going to explain to all of you right now, that how it's going to help us out in order to handle the things effectively. Okay, so to do what we have done collab, and you remember Gamma index. Gamma was the clarity. Execute the Gamma index. What was Gamma index? Gamma index. The same thing, nothing will change here. The people who have installed the Visual Studio Code in the previous, like in the previous class, I think on Monday I discussed, right? So we need the Visual Studio Code as an IDE. So we're just replacing here Google Colab with the Visual Studio Code. Then I need here Python, because obviously without Python, we cannot be able to write the program. So Python has to be installed in your system. And the third step is you need the OpenAI API key. Okay. So these are the first three prerequisites which are needed for us to complete our project successfully. If you really want to complete the project successfully, you definitely need to have your Visual Studio Code as an IDE, which you need to install on your own. Then you need to install the Python in your system. And then you need to have the OpenAI API key. So OpenAI API key, if you already have, you can use the same API key. Or otherwise, you can create one in the OpenAI platform and can use that API key and can be able to execute and can run it successfully here. Okay. So we have one being the Visual Studio Code as an IDE, and then we have the Python being installed over here successfully. And on the other side, we have the OpenAI API key being available for us. Okay. So this is the clarity. So I just want to put it in front of you, everybody here. So now I'm just going to go ahead and explain to all of you like how it is going to play a very important role in this scenario. So now if you want, like people who were not available on the Monday session, so I just let you know that if you want to install the Visual Studio Code, or maybe if you really want to go ahead and install any other Python or anything as such, right? You just need to go to Google and just say here, I need Visual Studio Code. So it will give you the option to go ahead and download it. Okay, so it's just loading. So the moment it gets loaded successfully, you can be able to go ahead and can download. See, there is an option. You can go to your Visual Studio Code, any browser, any operating system. Okay, you can just go ahead and download. Here, to observe that download for Windows. You can download it and can put it in your system. That's it. That's how you can be able to download it for the Windows. Okay. And then if you just go to the browser and then say, I need Python. Okay, so I need the Python to be downloaded. So simply say here that Python download. So you see that here there is an option for you to download the Python successfully. So you just need to click on the python.org, and here there is an option for you to download the Python, which is of a version 3.13.5. Okay, this is the Python version which you can be able to download it in your system. Okay, so yeah, this is another capability where you can download it and can be able to save it. So this is another one I just want to show, like share it with all of you. So this is how you can download your Python, and at the same time, like you can also see that your Visual Studio Code also should be present. So now what you need to do, once your Visual Studio Code is available, your Python is available. So what we need to do here in this case is, okay, okay, first you need to create a new folder. So I already created a new folder here. Okay, so I think I created one new folder. You can go to any of the path like C drive and all, whichever path you want, you can go. I already created one folder here. You see that multi-agent. Okay, I created one folder called as the multi-agent over here. So you can just say multi-agent in this case and see that there is a multi-agent being created here successfully. Okay, so this is ideally your multi-agent which is being created here appropriately. Okay, and then once your multi-agent is created, I mean, it's just a folder. Okay, you just need to create a new folder called as multi-agent. How to create it? Right click on it. Just you have to right click here and say new and then folder. That's it. You just need to provide whatever the name you want. I gave multi-agent, you give whatever name you want. That's up to you. Then Visual Studio Code, whatever you installed it successfully, right? You can go to your Visual Studio Code here. And then what you need to do here in this case is you just need to click on the file button. And within the file, there is a open folder option. You can just say open the folder and you can select the folder there. Okay, you just need to go wherever you created it. I created in my C drive. I will go to the users and I would go to my name and I will check where is that created, the folder which I created, multi_agent. See, I select this. Okay, just say select the folder and you will see the multi-agent will be created like this. That's the first step. After which, beside the multi-agent, you have an option to create a new file here. You see that? There is an option to create a new file. So first I clicked on new file. I created the .env file, environment file. If you remember in the Llama index, I made it very clear. The .environment file will be very much helpful for us to store the OpenAI API. So for that, I created it. And the next one is the main file. You can name whatever file name you want. I named it as the main. You can name it whatever you want, but definitely .py should be there as an extension because that is your Python extension. Okay. So definitely we need to have a .py as an extension because your .py is going to be like a Python extension, which will be helpful for us to go ahead and execute the things accordingly. Okay. So for that, definitely we need .py. Okay, as an extension. Without .py, it will not be able to understand. Okay, and here is our code available. So same thing, more or less like what we have discussed from Google Colab. Just the approach is different here. The approach is different. Otherwise, most of the things are actually gonna be the same over here. But still, I take the time to make you understand like what exactly we are trying to do here. So the first step is, if you see here, we are importing the Streamlit. You know, Streamlit, if you remember, is like a web interface for Python. If you really want to create a web interface in the Python, so Streamlit is going to play a very important role where you can import the Streamlit as a Python library into your program, where it is going to act like a web interface. It's going to handle your entire user interface or a UI. Then you have from the CrewAI, you can import your agent, task, and crew because you know that is going to act like a team. Because when you say CrewAI, within CrewAI, you are going to have three important things. That's your agent, task, and okay. And then you have your chat OpenAI. This is going to help you out to connect to your GPT model. Whatever GPT model we want, it will allow you to connect. And then you know we definitely need here the dot environment because your dot environment is needed here because here is where my OpenAI API key is available. See in the dot environment file, I just said OpenAI underscore API underscore key. I'll share the document and within the double quotes, I have kept my API. So that if I want to call that, I first need to import the dot environment. So I'm trying to get that. Okay, dot environment and OS will help me in loading the secret API key appropriately. Okay, you see that the first step here, if you see very clearly, here is where we are trying to load the key. Okay, we are loading the key from where? From the dot environment file. So it will load the OpenAI API key, which I have added here, will be loaded up over here so that it can authenticate and can enter into the GPT 3.5 model. So I provided the model here very clearly saying that my AI model or the like the respective LLM model would be of a type GPT 3.5 turbo, and the temperature, as we already have discussed, it's always ideal to take within 0.5 to 1. It's up to you what number you want to take, but yeah, this is the range from 0 to 2. You can pick any one number, and that's going to be your temperature. And then you also have your model present here, which we call it as GPT 3.5 term. Okay, so that's another important thing we need to understand. Like whenever we want to set up the LLM, so this is how you are going to add here your LLM, and then you are going to see that there is a model available, and then the temperature also is. Okay, so those are actually the two things we need to consider over here. And now comes the agents, right? As we know, agents are something by this time you are already aware. Like we started creating the agent. So the first agent, whatever we have here, right? It's going to be like again the daily planner. Okay, so the daily planner job is to arrange all your tasks, whatever you have with you, into an appropriate timeline. Okay, that is what will be the agent. Okay, like the planner agent as a role, daily planner will take your tasks, whatever tasks you provide it will take that into consideration and it will balance it. The AI agent will understand and it will try to balance your day-to-day activity so that it will give you a proper list. Exactly like a personal assistant to give whatever tasks and for you complete all the tasks on particular day by motivating you, by giving the relevant breaks wherever it is. Okay. So first, the daily planner agent will pick up all the activities or the roles, whatever you want, and it will try to balance. Then we have the break advisor agent. Okay. So this is going to add some smart break recommendations. Okay. The break advisor will recommend us that whatever the smart or the intelligent breaks which you need to take in between, because if you keep working continuously, you will be stretched out and you will not give 100%. Okay. So definitely as a break advisor, you need to ensure that you are analyzing your schedule and then you're trying, I mean, it's able to suggest you the break time appropriately so that you can focus and can like take a timely break rather than burning out entirely yourself. Okay. And then later we have another agent here, which is a summarizer. Okay, so there is another agent called as a summarizer agent. Now here the summarizer agent is to end the plan with an inspiring summary. It will be able to give you the inspiring summary. It will motivate you so that you will be happy at the end of the day and then you can keep pushing yourself to do the things in a better manner. Because that is what we discussed, because we said it very clearly, we are building an AI agent which will help us out in order to plan our day entirely. So for that, we have a planning agent, we have a break advisor agent, which will recommend us some smart breaks. We have a summarizer, which will help us out to with an inspiring summary where it can handle the things proactively. Okay, so that's one core capability which we all here should be aware about in order to handle the things very effectively. So that's one core point which I just want to add it over here. And then now comes the Streamlit part. Streamlit means, web interface. So within the web interface, how you want to arrange or what are all the things we wanted, we can be able to provide that here. So if you see very clearly in this scenario, this is where you can see that how well we can be able to go ahead and organize. Okay. So that's one thing which we need to, we need to understand it. So right now, if you see here, in this case, there are three important things. Like one, I'm giving the title, I'm setting up the title and the basic page design here. I'm saying that my page title, when the Streamlit is going to run, it should say AI Productivity Assistant. And it should be at the center. And the title of my Streamlit should be Personal Productivity Assistant Multi-Agent AI. You can change this as per whatever you. And then Markdown. Markdown means it will be below the title. It will say, get your day planned by an AI team of planner, break advisor, and the motivator. That's it. Okay, now I am asking the user to input. Now here will come the input where the user will try to provide the input over here. Okay. So now you are asking the user, hey, give me what are your top 5 tasks. Okay, like I kept a placeholder. If they don't know, you can see example, write report, attend team meeting, design slide, something like that. Okay, so please give me what are your 5 tasks for today so that I can be able to go ahead and help you out with that. So it will ask the user. Otherwise, what will AI do? AI will start creating something, then that will not be suiting each one of us, right? So which we don't want. So what we want, let the user be given the chance where the user will be able to provide the input. And the moment the user is being given the chance to provide the input here, right? So you see that enter your top 5 tasks for today. It will be like you can see that once the user provides the input here, right? So now there is a if condition. Okay, so what will happen here? The moment the user provides the input, what it will try to do here is it will try to generate the plan. Okay, first what it will try to do, observe here. The moment user provides the input, it will wait for the user to click the button to start the process. The moment the process is started, right, it will warn the user if no tasks are entered. Let's say if the no tasks are entered, it will say, like, it will just warn the user, okay, saying that please enter your tasks before proceeding. Okay. Then if you see here, what is going to happen is, then it will say, it will show a small animation while the agents are still thinking, right? It will think, your agent will automatically not come immediately. It will think based on whatever the top 5 tasks which you have given for today, right? You will see that the agent is going to think, and then you see the tasks being available here. Okay. So one for the planner agent. The planner agent, the task is convert the list, whatever the list which is provided by the user, convert that into a time-based schedule. So give the start and end times. Okay. Then you see the second task here. The second task here is, if you see very clearly, the second task in this scenario here, if you see, is like it's a break advisor. So it will try to add some smart breaks using the plan from the task one, because task one is giving start and end time. So your task two should also know the start and end time so that it can calculate and can give you the better break time so that you can relax for some amount of time. Then you have another task over here, which is your task three. Your task three in this case is again like a summarizer, where it will motivate the user with a nice message, okay, using both the plan and as well as the break time. So it will, it needs your plan, it also needs your break time so that it can combine both of them as a context, your task one, task two, and it can give you the better response so that we can be able to see the output appropriately. Okay. So that's how you have the context available, where you see that both task one and task two will be present. And using task one, task two, it will understand the previous task. First task is to schedule the time. Second task is to schedule the break. And we will take that as a context and will be able to move ahead. Okay. So that's the core point over here. And then finally, you know that within the crew here, right? You see that here, this is a crew. My agents are 3 agents I planned in the crew. That is my planner, break advisor, and summarizer agents. And you have the 3 tasks here. I'm taking task 1, task 2, task 3, because my crew is a combination of my agents and tasks. So I was able to add it over here successfully. Okay. And when the moment you say crew dot, this is where your crew will start running. Okay. Crew dot kickoff means you will see that your crew will start executing the things automatically. Okay, all your 3 agents with your 3 tasks will get executed and it will move forward. Okay, that's your kickoff. And then is your streamlit, ST, wherever you see, right? ST means it's your streamlit. Like wherever you see streamlit being present. Okay. So if it is successfully done, then it will say, here's your productivity plan for the day. Okay. It will display the final output in the UI in a proper manner. So that is what we have been able to define it over here. That's it. So this is what we all should ideally here be aware, like how things are basically proceeding, right? This is going to give us ultimately the better results, if I would say. Okay. So this is one of the most important point, like using Streamlit. This is how we can be able to give us the, it would be able to go ahead and create a better output. Okay, so that's what we were being able to go ahead and create it right now. Okay, so hope that this is giving clarity to all of you. So same thing, but just we have changed the tools. We have just changed the way how it should be done. So all these things we have just changed it for the simplicity. Okay, so that's the most important thing. So if you see again very clearly here, just what I did, I have added my API key here in the environment file. in the main.py, right? In this is my main file. Within this main file, right, you see that my Streamlit I imported from CrewAI. I got my agent, task, and crew. The chat OpenAI will be helpful for my API to be connected to GPT 3.5. Your dot environment is needed because this is where your API key is required. Okay, dot environment and OS both are needed for it. And first step is I'm loading my API key from the dot environment. I'm loading that API key because that will only allow me to authenticate to my chat GPT. Okay. And here is where I'm saying in the chat GPT, I need my GPT 3.5 turbo model and I'm highlighting the temperature, whatever I needed. Then I am defining the planner here. That is an agent. Here it's a daily planner, which will help me to schedule my work. And then I have a break advisor agent, which will help me to help me to recommend smart breaks at what point of time I need to take the breaks. And then there is a summarizer agent, which will give me the entire report of the day. And it will also motivate me so as to complete my all my work appropriately. Okay. And then this is your Streamlit configuration where we are providing the page details like the title of the page. The layout should be at the center. Okay. And then here the main title and then the markdown. Okay. Markdown means it will be there in the box. Then again, we are giving the user input, asking the user to provide their top 5 tasks for today. Okay. And we are giving some examples as a placeholder over here so that users will understand that what they need to add there. And then there is a if button. If let's say when they click on button generate my plan, it will go ahead and it will proceed further. But if you're clicking on generate the plan, then if you without adding any tasks, then it will say please enter your task before proceeding. Okay. Then your agent will start thinking and it will work one by one, whatever tasks we have added here. The first task is to give the start and end time. Second task of the agent is to break the entire like whatever the time which is there into proper breaking slots, that is a break time. And then the final task is to ensure that you are motivating the user to plan the day effectively and they can complete whatever is being present. And finally, within the crew, you have your agents and then the tasks associated. And the crew.kickoff will ensure that the agent and tasks are running successfully. Okay. And then finally, once if it is successful, it will go ahead and say your productivity plan for the day. That's it. So, but before you execute it, okay, you need to remember one thing. We need to install the CrewAI. That is the command. So I already have the command here, which I will be sharing it to all of you. Here is the command. Okay. So this is the first step you need to run in your terminal. Okay. So you have to install your Streamlit, CrewAI, LangChain, OpenAI, Python.environment. Okay. So these are the things first you need to install. So for that, what you need to do here, 3 dots, you have to go to terminal and say here the new terminal. So within the new terminal, right? So once the new terminal opens here, okay. So you see that here, this is our the terminal which has opened. So first step is you need to install this. If you don't install, it will throw error. I already have installed from my end. So now in order to run it, what I will say, Streamlit run main.py. Okay, you just need to say Streamlit run whatever the file you created here. My file is main.py. If you created some other name, then provide that file name. That's it. And now I'll say enter. Let's see what it is going to do. It should be able to load me the Streamlit page. Okay, so I'm running the Streamlit run main.py. So now here you see that it is loaded. Let's see. My Streamlit is running successfully right now. Okay, let us observe what it is going to do. It's trying to load and will give me the result once it is successful. Okay, let's wait until it is fully done. System loading. Okay, I think it is loaded successfully, right? If you see here, it was able to go ahead and load the data successfully in this case. So now if you see, what I'm going to do is I'll put my top 5 tasks. Okay, like one is to, let's say, write the report. Okay, I'll say I want to write the report, and then I want to attend the team meeting. Okay, and then I will say I want to update my tasks. And then what I would say I would like to create the presentation. Okay. And then what I second, so I will say I want to reply to my emails. Okay. Something like this. So you see that I would just like to say here, like write the report. I want to attend the team meeting. I want to update the tasks. I want to create the presentation, and then I want to reply to my emails. Okay. So this is what I want. Okay. Now I'll be able to go ahead and generate my plan. So let me click on generate my plan here. Now this should be able to see it's saying thinking hard and working as a team because I have added in the code like that. Okay. So now this is going proceeding further and it will give me the final plan. Okay. So you see that here's your productivity plan for the day. It says place your day with enthusiasm and positivity, motivation. Your schedule is packed with productive tasks. Okay, that will showcase your skills and dedication. Remember to take short breaks at 10:30 a.m., 12:45 p.m., and 2:45 p.m. to recharge and maintain the focus throughout the day. Start with writing the report, update your tasks, reply to emails, attend the team meeting, and then create a presentation. That will surely help you to a successful and fulfilling day. Stay motivated and make most out of each task, knowing that your hard work will bring great results and you have got this. See, such beautifully it was able to go ahead, capture the information, and all the agents worked collectively and it was able to give me the output. Okay. This is how your CrewAI can also be able to work within your Visual Studio Code and stream it. Okay. So this is one more exploration which I wanted to show to all of you so that you all can also be able to do it from your end. Just only thing is we change the tools, we change the case study, and things started working for us. Like where it started working as a planner for us, so that we can be able to handle the things more proactively. Okay. So this is the understanding which I just want to make it very clear to all of you here. So now what I'm going to do here is I'll share this to all of you. So I have the code available in this case, and this is the code. And then I'll say you just need to run Streamlit run. Okay, you can just say Streamlit run app.py, something like this. Okay, so you can go ahead with this part. Okay, this is the main one. And yeah, this is just to run. I will just say here run so that you will not get confused. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this entire terminal. Just let's take this and put it in our lang chain, which is already there. Okay, it will be useful for all of you. I'm putting this code at the bottom. At the end, I'm putting it so that you can all be able to proceed further. Just give me 1 minute quickly. Let me add it here and save the changes. And let me share it to all of you in the chat. Give me 1 minute. Lang chain. Okay, I just shared the file to all of you so that you all can be able to use it. At the bottom, you will be able to see the entire code will be present. Okay, this is at the bottom. That's it. Okay, so that's the main thing. Somebody who has asked me that why Amazon Q is there, I launched it. It's my extension. In my extensions, I have my Amazon Q. That is the reason it is coming. Otherwise, it doesn't have any significance. Okay, it doesn't have any correlation with the code. I have an extension installed Amazon Q. That's the reason it is coming. That's it. Okay. So yeah, that's it for our today's session, everyone. And just seeing Streamlit means user interface. Yeah, exactly. It's like a graphical user interface, Chintan. Agreed. Okay. So yeah, I'll reshare it tomorrow. That's all. Okay. Cool. I've answered all the questions. And one more quick thing is tomorrow, as that would be a last session, we will just see some exploration about N8, and if time permits, we will see MCP. Okay, just we'll get a high level overview of what is N8, N and MCP so that you will get an exposure. And with that, you have learned all the current AI agents which are there in the market. And that will give you an edge so that you can pursue and can do a lot of great AI agentic work. Okay. So yeah, that's it for our today's session. So tomorrow's agenda will be N8N and then MCP. Okay, and have a high level overview of what are those two things. We will just explore and we'll see further about. Okay. So yeah, thank you once again everyone for your time. So have a great day. We will meet again tomorrow with further topics, which I have been able to set it up for agenda. Thanks once again everyone, and thank you Sushmita for facilitating. Over to you. Okay, I think yeah, I think we'll wrap it up, everyone. So you can please feel free to drop off. Thank you once again, everyone. We'll join back tomorrow with whatever topic.